Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Botulism Bakery. This morning we're going to be focused on an infamous dish of mine called the tomato cake. It's a dish that will certainly get you noticed at get-togethers. It's something that people will definitely remember, and it will also keep you from having to lie later on to friends or make up excuses. You won't have to worry about being invited to any more ridiculous potluck dinners or other types of get-togethers that involve people bringing dishes of any type. Before we actually start the preparation of ingredients, we need to focus on this dish with a little preparation of self. By that, I mean the condition of our hands. We want to start with them as dirty as possible. Now, I have taken advantage of another passionate hobby of mine, fecal pottery, and that I was doing just before we started this episode. And so I'm just going to leave my hands unwashed for the preparation of this dish. And something you're going to notice is that by the end of this dish, your hands are going to be remarkably clean, so you don't even have to wash them at all. The tomatoes will actually wash your hands for you as you're preparing the dish. And a lot of the stuff you're seeing here is going to come off in the dish itself, and it's really going to enhance that flavor. This is really a simple dish to make. You're going to start off picking tomatoes from your local supermarket. I found that the small Roma tomatoes work the best. We want our tomatoes to be a little aged. You don't want crisp tomatoes. Ideally, when you're cutting into them, if you've got a really sharp knife, when you go to cut into the tomato, you don't want it to cut into the flesh. You actually want it to press the flesh down, regardless how sharp your knife is. What we're really looking for here is for the flesh of the tomato to have generally the same consistency as the outer skin. This is something that your differently enameled guest or your incisorily challenged guest are going to be really grateful for when they bite into this thing. Now, what you're seeing here is a partial completion. When I'm done with whatever shape I want, and in this case, I'm going to be using a 13 by 9 cake pan. I've used 12 tomatoes with this. That just gives you a general idea of how many you need to use. My depth, I'll let it come up a little above the rim of the pan, the same way we would with a normal cake. After I get the shape that I want, I am going to be frosting this with a Hellmann's or Miracle Whip type mayonnaise. It does start off with an off-white, but we're going to let that age a little bit. And that's the other thing. You do want to start this a few days in advance because the frosting needs to age a little, and it needs to have a chance to kind of soak down into the tomatoes themselves. Now, something else you can do with this dish is write messages, leave a message on it, but not in the traditional way you would just icing the top of a cake from a bakery. For this, you actually would use a common household bleach. It works really well, and I'm going to tell you how to do that. First, I'll describe the frosting process and the aging process. We're going to get the cake the shape we want it. We're going to come in and we're going to frost it with, again, a Hellmann's or a Miracle Whip. Different people have different preferences there. You may want to check with your guests. If you're going to leave a message, after you have frosted it, go through and make indentions in the mayonnaise for whatever you want your message to say, whether it's, happy birthday or congratulations or have a nice death, you genocidal necrophiliac pedophile, in case you're doing it for an execution. So that when you frost it, your mayonnaise frosting will actually seep down into the divots in the tomatoes, okay? And when you've got those divots, what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to use an eyedropper and we're going to fill those letters full of the bleach. You don't have to use concentrated bleach. Some people water it down. I try to avoid watering it down. What I like to do is actually come through and poke holes in the letters with two toothpicks after I have filled them with the bleach, because that allows the bleach to soak down and it intertwines with the juices from the tomato and the juices from the aged mayonnaise, and it really creates a wonderful warming, numbing sensation on your palate. That's really makes this dish remarkable and so memorable. After we've done this, it's as simple as setting it out. If you want to speed things up a little bit, you can put it in the sun for a day or two and then bring it back inside. But you want to let it age enough to where mold will actually begin to overtake the mayonnaise. And you'll see it go from white to kind of a greenish blue. You'll know it's ready when it turns black. Now, the letters where you've placed the mayonnaise, those are going to remain white from the bleach because the mold can't grow there. And that's it. Then it's ready. When you are ready to serve your cake, you want to have plenty of bags handy with you. Some of your guests are going to want to vomit or whatever. Others are going to run straight for the door. But you should have your house should be cleared out within an hour or two, and you can get back to doing what you actually enjoy. Thanks. Have a great day, and we can't wait to see you again here at the Botulism Bakery.